talk English.
You know, it's funny. You open literally any social media app right now and someone is announcing, I'm in my healing era.
Right, or your coworker messages you complaining like, ooh, we're in our villain era today.
Exactly. Or you hear someone describing a friend by saying, oh, she's giving main character. She is definitely in her confident era.
Yeah, it is everywhere.
It really is. And, you know, if you're trying to master American English or just understand the culture, you might hear this and just write it off as fleeting internet slang.
Yeah.
But today we are looking at why treating your life like a temporary marketing campaign has actually become this massive linguistic ecosystem.
It's essentially a coping mechanism, really. I mean, if you don't speak this language, you are missing a huge critical layer of how people describe their personal phases right now.
Which is exactly why we're doing this deep dive today, to decode all of it. We've got a great stack of sources, linguistic trends, pop culture analysis, and the mission here is to understand the mechanics of this era culture.
Yeah, we're getting past the surface level to really look under the hood of these words.
So to help us synthesize all this, I am thrilled to have you here to break it down. And I think before we get into the actual vocabulary, we have to look at the origin story.
Yeah.
Because the word era used to mean something entirely different.
Oh, completely. I mean, think about it. 10, even 5 years ago, era was this dusty, formal word.
Dusty, yeah.
Like history book.
Exactly. You'd read about the Romantic era in a textbook or hear academics debate the era of globalization. It was restricted to these massive world-altering stretches of time that took, centuries to define.
Right, but then we get the catalyst. And our sources universally point to this one massive event, which is Taylor Swift's 2023 Eras Tour.
The turning point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it was this massive billion-dollar stadium tour where she celebrated her past album periods. Like, each one was a distinct era with a different mood and aesthetic. But I want to push back on this just a little bit because, musicians have always had phases.
Sure they have. Right. Like David Bowie had Ziggy Stardust. Madonna reinvented herself like every 3 years. So why did Swift's specific framing suddenly hijack daily conversation?
Well, what's fascinating here is the distinction between an alter ego and an actual life chapter. When Bowie or Madonna did it, they were putting on a mask, right? They were creating fictional characters.
Oh, I see.
But Swift was chronologically compartmentalizing her actual messy lived experiences. She was putting her past selves on stage and basically validating this idea that, that you are allowed to be multiple contradictory versions of yourself over the course of your life.
That makes so much sense. It's like how the word bandwidth moved from IT server capacity to our own emotional energy.
Oh, great analogy. Yeah.
We used to say the server lacks bandwidth, and now we say, I don't have the emotional bandwidth for this email.
Right. Completely hijacked by pop culture. And the really crazy part is how fast it escaped her specific fandom. You do not need to be a Taylor Swift fan to use this. It exploded on TikTok, and now you have people who couldn't name a single song of hers using era as shorthand for, any defined personal phase.
Because it just perfectly met a societal need.
Which brings us to the actual vocabulary. Because once it became this framework, it spawned a whole dictionary of specific archetypes.
A literal field guide to modern personality phases.
Right. So let's decode the core list, because if you're listening, you've probably seen these or even lived them. Let's start with the one that feels the most controversial, which is the villain era.
Okay, yes.
Now let's unpack this for a second. Isn't claiming you're in a villain era just giving yourself a free pass to be kind of a terrible person?
Sounds like it, right? Like, sorry ruined your day, I'm just in my villain era.
Exactly.
But here is the crucial clarification from our sources. It is not actually about being malicious or villainous. Fundamentally, it's about assertiveness.
Wait, really?
Yeah. It's a phase where someone decides to set strict boundaries and basically stop people-pleasing. But the catch is the friction. The friction with other people.
Right. When you've been a chronic people pleaser and you suddenly start saying no, it feels villainous to society. You become the villain in their story because you stopped being convenient.
Oh, wow. So it's self-preservation rebranded as rebellion?
Exactly.
You're saying, I know you hate my boundaries, and I don't care. Which connects perfectly to the unbothered era.
Totally.
Yeah.
The unbothered era is like the ultimate goal. It's divesting completely from other people's opinions. Criticism just bounces right off you.
That sounds amazing, honestly. And then we have the no-nonsense era, which is similar, just kind of...
a bit more efficient, cutting out the unnecessary without the dramatic flair.
Got it. Okay, so those are all about boundaries.
Yeah.
But what about the ones focused on, like, personal growth and visibility?
Ah, the high output eras.
Yes, like the main character era.
Right, which is all about living intentionally, right? Being confident, fully present, and treating your life with cinematic importance. You are the star of the movie, not the best friend in the background.
Which is exhausting sometimes.
Oh, incredible.
And we also have the baddie era, which is pure confidence and high style. But then, on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, and our sources really highlight this contrast, we have the retreat eras.
Because you can't be high output all the time.
Exactly. So we have the healing era.
Prioritizing mental health, emotional recovery.
Yeah, and the soft era.
Which I love. It's about actively choosing vulnerability, taking off the armor and letting people in.
And the domestic era, which is just nesting, right? Cooking at home, staying off social media, and making resting sound like an intentional lifestyle choice.
Instead of a failure to be productive. Exactly. And even when you are productive, you have to brand it, like the focused era.
Just heads down, minimal distractions.
Right.
Okay, so that is the core era dictionary. But to truly be fluent in this culture, understanding era isn't enough, is it?
No, language doesn't exist in a vacuum. There is a whole adjacent ecosystem of slang that makes this work.
Right, so let's talk about that adjacent vocabulary, because if you want to sound natural, you need these tools too. Obviously, we know some of these, like glow up.
A classic. A significant positive transformation, physical, emotional, or professional.
And then there's slay.
Which means performing excellently. Though it's really important to note that slay actually originated in Black LGBTQ+ ballroom and drag culture decades ago before it trickled up to mainstream pop culture.
Such an important context. And of course, we have that girl, or that girl era.
Oh, the aesthetic of the hyper-organized, super healthy, high-functioning woman on social media.
Waking up at 5 a.m. for matcha and Pilates.
Exactly.
And Hot Girl Summer, coined by Megan Thee Stallion, which is just confident free living, and the It Girl.
Embodying the current cultural moment.
But out of all of these, there's one term that I just find so endlessly fascinating. The soft launch.
Oh, this one is a masterpiece.
It really is. Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, a soft launch socially is when you quietly introduce a new romantic relationship on social media without an official announcement.
It's all about deliberate ambiguity.
Right, like posting a picture of 2 coffee cups at brunch or just a mysterious elbow in the corner of a photo.
Just enough to make people ask questions.
But here's where it gets really interesting to me. We took a sterile corporate business term, literally soft launching a product to a test market, and applied it to romance.
We really did.
It's like we are releasing a beta version of a boyfriend.
It's hilarious, but it speaks to this fear of public failure, right? Like if the relationship fails during the soft launch, you don't have to issue a public retraction. You just stop posting the second coffee cup.
You just pull the product from the market.
Exactly. It's PR management for your dating life.
Unbelievable. Okay, so now that we have the vocabulary, we need the syntax. Because you can't just throw these words around.
No, there are unspoken rules of engagement.
Yes. The sources outline 5 specific rules of era language. Rule number 1, the phrasing is incredibly rigid.
Right, you can't say, I am in my healing. It always has to be, I'm in my X era, or she's in her X era.
That possessive pronoun is mandatory.
Always.
Rule number 2, it is always temporary.
Yes, this is key psychologically. It's a passing phase, never a permanent commitment to an identity.
Rule number 3, hyperspecificity equals comedy.
This is where it gets really fun. Broad eras are sincere, but if you want to laugh, you get weirdly specific. Like, I'm in my read every book before watching the movie era.
Yes. Or like, I'm in my forgot to reply to texts, but now it's too late era.
Exactly.
Rule 4, it works for collectives.
Yeah, like we're in our team building era. You can apply it to a whole group.
And finally, Rule 5, which brings us to the workplace. It's used, ironically, for mundane frustrations.
The corporate and professional irony is so real with this one.
It is. You see people sitting in miserable meetings saying, we're in our Q4 era, or the team is in its shipping era.
Hi.
Or, my personal favorite, I am in my 3 cups of coffee era.
Just to get through the afternoon.
Right. So what does this all mean for us? Why are we applying pop star tour framing to spreadsheets?
Well, using this language signals self-awareness, and lightness.
Okay.
It allows people to frame their own life story without the heavy burden of it being permanent.
Because eras pass.
Exactly. Eras pass, and that is the whole point. It gives you narrative control.
Okay, to prove how well this works, I want to do a quick drill. A rapid-fire diagnosis.
Okay, I love a drill.
For everyone listening, play along. I'm going to describe a behavior, and you diagnose the era based on the mechanics we just talked about. 4 rounds. Ready?
I am in my diagnostic era. Let's go.
Okay, round 1. She has completely stopped apologizing for having opinions at work, and she says no to every single optional thing she doesn't want to do.
Boom, villain era. The boundaries are steel. The people-pleasing is dead.
Spot on. Round 2. He went quiet for a bit, but now he's posting these amazing selfies. He looks great. He got a huge new job and a fancy new apartment.
Highly visible, positive transformation. That is a glow-up era.
Perfect. Round 3. She deleted her social media. She's just cooking elaborate meals at home, reading, and being incredibly cozy.
She has retreated to the domestic era. Very low cortisol.
We love that for her. Last one. He is completely laser-focused on a project. He is not responding to weekend plans, just totally locked into output mode.
Blinders are on. That is the focused era.
You aced it. It really is an intuitive system once you get the underlying emotion.
It really is.
So to summarize for everyone listening, you now possess the ultimate decoder ring for modern American English slang.
Yes, you do.
Era language, glow-ups, soft launches, slang, being unbothered. It's all just the ultimate tool for narrative self-control.
It lets you be the author of your own mess.
Exactly. So what era are you in right now? Drop in the comments. The more specific, the better. We're reading all of them. And if you're new here, subscribe so you don't miss next week's deep dive.
But just to leave you with a final thought to mull over, if every single phase of our lives, even the messy, mundane, or painful parts, is now neatly branded and packaged as an era, does that stop us from just simply existing? Right, what happens when we constantly treat our own lives like marketing campaigns? And do we ever get to just be, out of an era entirely?